This was a big game changer for me early on when I realized that, the food that I was eating wasn't just food, it was information. And every single bite of food that I was eating, and this is something that I've been studying now for over 10 years, I absolutely love this, is something called nutrigenomics. And it's a study looking at how every single molecule of food that you eat impacts your genetic expression. Food is that powerful, and several other epigenetic factors like sleep, which might be the biggest epigenetic influence. You get to choose what kind of copies are being made of you. Your genes are basically blueprint to print out certain copies. And there's upwards of like 4,000 different variations that one gene can do. And you get to have a big role, a big part in how those genes are getting expressed. So understanding that when we eat a particular food, it isn't just, I'm just eating this thing. It's setting off a cascade of events. And it's incredibly empowering, but also can be really sobering. And again, I don't want to get people into the neurotic state because I've been there, but it's more like the majority of what we want to do is things that are hormone healthy, things that are healthy for your DNA, things that are healthy for your genetic expression. Because, you have a big influence on that. And so, early on, really kind of having that light bulb go off, it really empowered me to start making food decisions that can help me, because if you really think about this, I had the spine of an 80-year-old man when I was 20 years old. I'm in some ways, I'm like Benjamin Button, all right? Like I'm aging backwards, Have you guys talked about telomeres yet?
On the show, no.
So telomeres are basically the most valuable asset that we have currently to basically tell us how long we're going to live. All right, and so what do I mean by that? Your telomeres are like these the iglets at the end of your shoestrings that keep your shoestrings from unraveling. That's kind of like how telomeres work. They're the end caps at the end of your chromosomes. And as life goes on, your cells divide and those, they keep getting clipped off. Those telomeres get clipped off shorter and shorter to the point where your DNA basically unravels, right? And so the crazy thing is that sleep, your sleep spectrum, whether you're getting high quality sleep or sleep deprived, could be the biggest influence on your telomere length. All right, so literally aging you faster when you're sleep deprived. So because when we're younger, we're like, sleep 3 hours, whatever, it's no big deal, and you can quote get away with it, and you can. But what you're doing is accelerating your aging process. I know that when this was happening, even before I got the diagnosis, sleep just wasn't something I thought about, And so I was accelerating my aging process, little did I know. Another huge player in that is the information that we put into our body. The food and the water. And also a big player is our environment, our relationships, the people around us. And if you were to ask me, sleep is more powerful than exercise and nutrition combined on your physical appearance and your health. But your relationships are the biggest governing force over all of it. Because that is the most influential thing on the decisions you make with your sleep, on the decisions you make with the food that you eat, on the decisions you make on whether or not you're exercising or when and how you do it. So it's incredibly important to be mindful of, if we're looking at ways that we can stave off the aging process, stay young, vital, healthy, happy, as long as possible.